What is that? Yeah, now is the right time to tinker.
Perfect start. Keep fucking with it, Grant. We're almost there.
No, once the timer ends, it goes straight to the next.
One day we'll figure this out.
Ooh, boy, does it feel good. Pot of gold, baby. Welcome back. Lane Kiffin era has officially begun. I'm Brett. Mike, greetings.
Grant's in the building.
Grant's in the building, of course. I was gonna go 1-2. It's been a minute.
My goodness. Does it feel good to be back in business? I was thinking yesterday, we haven't been doing a podcast since we were projecting the baseball team to be in Omaha.
It was February.
It's going to be a great season.
I think about a lot where I was like, look, man, you guys just do whatever baseball podcast you want. I love to come in whenever it gets good at the end of the season. And then never, literally not once. And I think about that fondly a lot. I was like, I need to go back and check that out because I was like, look, guys, just do it. Have fun.
And we didn't.
It's going to be a fun year.
Yeah, it was not. It was not a good baseball season, but Jay redeemed himself. You totally redeemed yourself. And the recruiting class and the transfer portal, it's sick. That's not why we're here, though.
No, it's a new day entirely.
We are here because there is a new era of LSU football, and I haven't felt this juice in a long time. Not the type of juice that the idiotic media is walking around telling people that we all feel, which
National
is natty or
championship
bust. That's the first time I ever heard that, was turning on that dumbass SEC media.
Yeah, that was brutal. That was a rough one. Yeah, look, man, listening live from the hospital. Wife had her first baby last night. I love that. Sam Murphy is a true fan. And look, thanks to everybody that's already in the chat. I know it's been a long time. And sometimes it gets a little frustrating, but like legitimately, thank you everyone out there who anytime I post something on Twitter, which got hacked and we got a different one. If you haven't found that, at Pot of Gold New, check that one out. We need to get those follows back up. It's brutal being where I'm at, but we'll get there. Clicked on a bad link. Hand up. That was on me.
It happens.
But all the people that constantly like just hammer me in the DMs or on every reply that are like, where's the pod? Where's the pod? Like that. That's the kind of juice that makes this feel good, because at some points you could just be like, man, I got so much shit going on, man. And like everyone in this room has like significant life things that have happened since we've last talked.
Listen, congratulations to Sam Murphy, but
there's two more congratulations in the room.
Not only did baseball season take us away from the podcast, but Grant, the producer, and myself both entered dadhood for boys.
Yep.
Grant has been there for some time with a daughter. Brett, you've outdone yourself with us. You've got the two. We
have a starting five now.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, he had the starters of the Pot of Gold children.
I'm the seasoned vet.
He's the seasoned vet.
No diapers in my house for the first time in 6 years.
Yeah, so a couple new boys have entered the hood.
And but that's the kind of juice, like the people, sometimes you can just be like, are we talking into the void? Are we talking into nobody? And there's threads on Tiger droppings that pop up here and there. And there's, always in the comments, I see Mike getting tagged all the time and stuff like that. Legitimately appreciate everybody. We love doing this. It's just tougher with the way life is at this point. But like, God, am I excited for football season, man.
I forgot if we even talked about Lane Kiffin being our coach. And I think we did briefly.
Yeah, we definitely did. We couldn't have gone without that.
We did a big signing day pod.
We talked about Marty Smith chasing him down at the airport. We covered all that.
But now we've gotten to a point where it's like the national scene is now jumping back into the hype.
Yeah.
Where we haven't really been hyping it up. We've just been like, okay, we're back to expecting execution. Right? Yep. We're expecting execution. We've got great talent across the board. Recruiting is doing excellent right now.
I love every time I see on Twitter, there's always something where, there was the tight end, I'm not going to come up with his name now, but essentially said like Nebraska's crushing it, even though he's committed to LSU.
Hudson, I could care less about these kids right now.
And I don't care, but like what brings me so much joy is always seeing the Ole Miss retweets, Ole Miss fans just like, only took a couple months for him to get lazy in recruiting. And it's like, look, I was wrong. We'll take it on the chin for some of the Brian Kelly hype train that we got behind, but like,
we're past that.
We're going to fucking choo-choo train this thing, and no one's going to have shit to say about it. And it's finally like here.
Yeah, now we can start buying the hype. Now we can get it every season.
Starts at Dick's.
Every season in August, it's our delusion podcast, right?
And I think this is the peak of delusion right now. Podcast. Not a snap in the Lane Kiffin era, and I am like, we are the program of the decade.
But here's the thing. In reality, we know we're not walking in here winning a national title.
Correct.
And everyone sitting around saying, well, they should.
Ask Benjamin Watson.
The reason for it is you spent so much money, like y'all need to win immediately. It's like, buddy, we're not the first program to ever spend some dime, for a great roster.
Texas is like $3 million under us and no one says a fucking word.
Yeah. And I'm not saying it's inexcusable that if we don't make a playoff, I'm just saying, like, I am excited about the development of this program to being back to the highest standard of college football.
There's no excuses at this point.
Right. But if it's not there, I'm happy to swallow that because it was out of our hands and it wasn't self-inflicted lack of preparation.
You know what's interesting? There hasn't been a single comment about fit culture.
You know what else I found interesting? When we're on the subject of comparing kind of vibes with the previous
regime. You got to get off Twitter. The Trump tweets are going to get me going, and we can't.
Sorry.
Come on.
Our delusion feels more realistic with Lane by far than BK, 1,000%. No, but again, we haven't snapped the ball.
It does, but no one is sitting back and being like natty or bust. Yes. That's insane. No one is thinking that.
We're not that delusional fan.
What I am saying is that I am happy to be back in a place where if you do lose a game, it's truly because the other team beat you.
Yeah.
That's what I want to get to. And I think that's what Lane can bring us immediately. Now, the skins on the wall, the trophy case material, like, it's got to come.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to come day one.
Yeah.
But I will say the difference, like in the interviews of the kids, seem different. And what I'm talking about is, remember when Will Campbell was interviewed and he was like,
"You're gonna be delivered for Amazon."
Well, but talking about, like, it is natty or bust for us. That's LSU. Like, it's this year we're gunning for the natty. You don't hear any of our guys talk about that. There's nothing about, like,
process based.
Like, exactly.
Yep.
It's very much about being part of this system, being part of this organization, being part of this, like, Lane train.
Yeah.
What does that mean? You're going to work your ass off. You're going to get developed. You're going to, has nothing to do with just winning a championship, right? That's kind of the understanding of what happens when you follow through with that type of, elite process. So I'm excited to begin that process and see what that looks like.
And, a lot of people can say it's coach speak, but like you said, man, when you listen to these Lane interviews, it just seems like he's being honest. And, like, literally my favorite part of the entire interview from yesterday or whatever, post-practice, someone asked him about running Levitt. And it's like, are you going to be worried to run him and stuff? In the past, you've done this. And he said, we don't do what we do. And like, in a vacuum, that sounds like the dumbest quote of all time. But what he is saying is I'm not coming in here and saying, this is my system, fit in or get out. Like, they are legitimately basing what they do day in and day out by the kids in the building and what they can do. And the thing that drove me absolutely fucking nuts last year, and maybe there was no saving it, the injury with Nuss, whatever, but it's like, we had
Nuss is fine.
Nuss is fine. We had an egregiously bad offensive line, and we did nothing to try to play around that. If it was 2nd and 10, we were fucking running the ball, and it never worked. And I just don't see that happening with Lane.
Yeah.
It's like,
Lane
I know my deficiencies. I have to swing pass. I have whatever his genius mind and Charlie Weiss and them cook up. It's not going to be like, well, we got to run it. That's what the book says.
No, that's
our system.
No, but it's what the flow of the game says. It's what the flow of the game dictates. And Lane even said it in the practice interview, post practice. He talked about how, running the football, you look at how important that is at the end of the game when you have the last possession and it's a back and forth type of game.
One-score games.
You got to be able to run the football and run that clock out and capitalize on that third down to force the end of the game.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that's football 101, but sometimes going back to football 101 is what's needed at the college level. Yeah. And we're going to have somebody that does that.
I'm just excited. And look, I understand, and I'm not going to sit here and preface things all year by saying this. Like, I understand that the Lane Kiffin thing, we haven't played it down, and like maybe we're going to get frustrated with him. But God, everything's going the right way right now.
Feels good before we've taken a snap.
Yeah,
Grant, go down to Brian Turner's other comment. I want to speak on that. Keep going down.
I don't think I can scroll.
Go to the
this.
other way. Go to the
I can do
stream,
it
and then
here.
you can scroll, and then you can put it up on the screen.
If it takes more than 2 more seconds, I'm out.
My expectations,
Which one?
year in and year out, are for
Ohio
us to
State.
be in the
Oh.
playoff picture.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Grant, show that comment real quick. So he says Ohio State went undefeated in Urban Meyer's first season. They had an elite roster in his tenure, and he capitalized on it. I'm not saying it can't happen, is the point.
No, for sure.
But if it doesn't happen, the majority of our fan base is not pissed off.
No, the thought
what I'm
thought of LSU losing a first or second round playoff game and everyone being like, "I told you it wasn't going to work." Like, that's not that we're not
The
that
majority
type
of our fans do not
base.
think that way.
Yeah,
There's a few crazies out there that might think that way, but
especially in this day of college
for the
football.
media to sit there and say that's the expectation is natty or bust, and he failed in his first season because he didn't win a national championship. No one in our fan base truly thinks that.
Yeah.
And if they do, they're bandwagon.
Something, and I don't know if it was Shay Dixon, obviously friend of the program, or Preston. Someone tweeted out yesterday or the day before that this is like the lowest Louisiana kid roster like in a long time in LSU. I think it was like 37, 38%. And it's like, so if I'm sitting back, like I can sit here and think like, well, it is possible we bought this high end roster and it doesn't gel and all this stuff. But like, I just think having guys like Whit Weeks still in the building, like I'm going to buy myself in on this culture and like everybody's going to gel. But if maybe it takes a little bit and early in the season it's rocky, I'm not going to be sitting here saying we made the wrong decision.
A lot of teams are like this right now.
Yeah.
We're not the
That's
only
the
ones.
age of NIL for sure.
Absolutely. And yeah, it's a huge change. And there hasn't been a lot of time to gel. But these are professionals, like Lane said. You're here and you're making money.
Yeah.
You have to fall in line. You have to follow the process. Part of that is being dedicated to your craft. And if they're doing that, they're going to be able to compete.
I think the beauty is I honestly think this roster has depth.
I agree.
And so I don't think Lane's going to play these games with people. He's already said that. Like, if you're not cutting it, you're not playing. I mean, you saw that in these first practices that I don't know if y'all were going to go over that, but like guys like Jace Thomas.
Yeah. And I want to speak on that, but you can finish.
I'm just saying, like, guys like that are getting first team reps. That means, like, has Cooley been?
No, the media saw the first 12 minutes.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm using that as an example.
When is the lawn assault interview?
That's the best. I think he put that on Twitter too. That was hilarious.
The group chat was buzzing those days, boys.
My point is the depth. That was pretty good. Is the depth piece, and if guys aren't cutting it, like the last few years, you saw Sage Ryan out there, drowning. He was on Ole Miss's team, but you saw guys like that BK or whoever, kept going with, and I don't know, I just feel like it'll be different.
What I think is different, and Jace Thomas, being with the quote unquote first group during their warm up drills signifies is that he's setting a tone and sending a message, to your point, that it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how long you've been on this team. It doesn't matter how many reps you took last season. The best players are going to play. Mm-hmm. And if today, going into practice, you had a better day in the weight room or you were more prepared for film, you're going to run with the ones at some point. I don't think that means Tamarcus Cooley is benched.
Right.
I don't think Caden Durham, quote unquote, running with the twos during bag drills means Harlan Berry has lost his spot. I think that's more of a, hey, Caden, we were trying to push you during spring. Now we're rewarding you a little bit with getting some 1s and 2 reps, but this is going to be a fluid running back room, right? Yeah. They don't want the kids to lose confidence, but they want that edge.
Right.
I think at defensive line, you're seeing that with
McKinley running with the threes.
Don McKinley running with the threes. You've got true freshmen with Deuce Gerald's, right, being rewarded as, hey, I don't care how small you are. I
don't care who your daddy is.
I don't care. Actually, his daddy was a good player. He's a good. I think he played for Georgia.
But we don't care.
No, we don't care about that. We took him, but Deuce Gerald's is ball get off. He might be undersized, but guess what? We valued this amount of effort. So you're going to be with the ones with Malik Blockton, who was that transfer from Auburn, and then you got the Clemson kid behind him with Richard Anderson, who's another 5-star Louisiana defensive tackle who's a freshman. And then you got old boy Brown, number 1 player in the country, playing at defensive end because you got Relaford out. There's some Louisiana talent there.
For sure.
You're building it with the freshmen.
Dang.
You're supplementing those other guys from the portal, but you're taking experienced guys from the portal. You look at Ty Benefield, who's being hyped up as like the best player on the team.
That worries me a tiny bit.
The best player on the team is Ty Benefield.
At our Boise State.
We've had a Giles or two in our run here,
but he's got years of experience, regardless of if it's in the SEC or not. You're not banking on like a true freshman or a redshirt freshman that was like this 5-star that's mad he's not playing. So we picked him up in the portal. We're getting very experienced guys like a Delane from last year who are trying to elevate their exposure to capitalize on the stage. And that's what we're selling as a stage.
And the brand is already back. And I think like, it's like, I'm sure LSU was talked about and everything, but I see clips of the Pat McAfee show and Herb Street's just like, I'm ready to see about LSU game 1 against Clemson. It's like LSU is back to, and you have to win to sustain that, but we are back to that like national media. Everyone kind of understands like this is a problem.
We also have the largest bullseye on our back of anybody in the country.
And just like with
besides
BK,
Brendan Sorsby.
I don't know that Lane's going to get as many camera shots of him just looking like a goober on the sidelines that happened to Brian Kelly like once or twice a week. But as soon as, if LSU loses that Ole Miss game, the entire Twitter universe is just going to be piling on. But again, it's trust the process.
We talk about the Lane effect, and I think really this season hinges on the health of Sam Leavitt.
Yeah, I think so. But I can also sit here and tell you, and look, maybe Trinidad Chambliss is an outlier who was an insane talent that people just everyone in the world missed.
That Ole Miss is potential.
But for someone to sit here and say the entire season hinges on a quarterback when Ole Miss went to the Sugar Bowl with their starting quarterback out, quote unquote, to start the year. It's like, I think Lane and that system just has a way of figuring it out.
They could. I think our schedule is tough. And what I'm saying is
it's only the 11th or the 9th toughest schedule.
Yeah, but if you ask Bud whatever on 3, it's like
Bud Broiler.
But I don't know what his name is. You know who I'm talking about.
The Burger Man?
The
Buddy D?
Oh my God.
Buddy Sanji.
No, Buddy Sanji's the GOAT. Would never just besmirch that man's name. The guy who does the Cover 3 podcast. He was like, LSU has one of the easiest schedules. It'd be a bust if they're not in the national championship.
I know what quote you're talking.
Yeah, and it's like I tweeted at him, responded. I was like, explain to me how, and I did the
he got you
4-week stretches of like, explain to me how Clemson, A&M, Ole Miss in a month, and then Alabama, Texas, and Tennessee back to back. Like, explain to me how that's an easy schedule. He said, I don't think Clemson's that good. It's like, that clears it up, buddy. Like, we're not playing fucking Troy to start the season.
Yeah, no, you're playing a guy who won how many national championships?
The true Saban Slayer. Yeah. The only true Saban Slayer of the entire
whose
generation.
Job is on the line. This is it.
Yeah.
And if he beats
Bring
LSU,
your own guts.
If he beats LSU, he's back. It's not just any other game. I do think it's different, right? Because I know before we recorded, we talked a little bit about like, hey, last year Clemson was supposed to kill us.
It was like, oh, LSU might be able to sneak this one out.
Yeah, Klubnik's coming back, Maffa or whatever. They're going to be so talented. Clemson's a shoe-in for the playoffs, and they were terrible.
Yeah.
And then you look at the year before, you've got Florida State beating Alabama. Alabama's supposed to wipe the floor with them. I think the difference here is that it is Lane Kiffin's inaugural day, man. He's coming in hot at home. It's going to be hard to beat that team. That doesn't mean Clemson's not going to play their ass off, and it's going to be some cakewalk opening game. You're right. Clemson, Ole Miss, A&M, 3 very, very difficult games, one of which is going to be the most watched game of the season outside of a playoff. Going to be absolutely insane in Oxford. And then you're right, the back end stretch, depending on where those teams fall, like you could be going into that game with LSU fighting off 2 top 10 teams.
Yeah.
And then going
and
on
then
the
going
road
on the road to Neyland
Tennessee.
Stadium, and who knows what they're going to be.
Right.
I'll be there. I just bought my plane ticket.
Sandwiched in between that, you've got at Auburn, you've got Mississippi State, you've got Kentucky.
At Kentucky.
You
at
know, Lane
Auburn.
is due for one of those I wasn't paying attention game, right? So like the schedule is not a cakewalk by any means. So the fact that I'm saying Sam Leavitt really, when it comes to our ceiling, our potential to be a playoff team, he's got to be healthy. My point about that is every single quarterback that's gone through Lane Kiffin's system has improved.
Yep.
You don't see guys regress. You don't see the Nussmeyers.
I'm still not sure Jackson Dart's that good, and he's starting for the Giants.
Just like I forgot the guy's name, but he does like the film breakdown, and he was with Moscona at the media days.
Yeah, I don't know his name. I'm blanking on his name.
He said Sam Leavitt is going to get a GM fired, right? Meaning Lane Kiffin is going to make this kid look so good.
Yep.
He's going to be just like a Jackson Dart or a Matt Corral or like all of those guys that he coached up.
Play above their talent in that
but
system.
Puts them in the right positions.
Yep.
I think Sam has shown he's talented before.
You're already
Lane,
starting with a really good quarterback.
Right.
So what I'm saying is
unlike last year.
That is the floor that you're getting with Sam Leavitt.
Yeah.
Watch that highlight video at Arizona State. You're not going to see regression from that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what's exciting is that you are going
assuming
to see,
he's healthy.
Assuming he's healthy. That's what I'm saying. The season hinges on his health.
Yeah.
If Sam Leavitt is healthy, that dude is going to be a dog in this system on this stage. He seems like one of those egomaniacs too, where it's like, you put me on the biggest stage, I deserve it.
If we're 4-0, he's going to be doing his own Vanity Fair cover shoots here. And yeah, I agree.
But I think Sam looks like the type of kid that feeds off the hype.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
Like him and Scattaboo were boys. Scattaboo's an interesting cat.
Yeah. No, I agree. And, obviously.
But were they hanging out like intellectually?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know that we have to dig deep into that one.
Scattaboo, they just, he's like a brick. Is Sam?
I think Sam. No, I don't think. Are you saying like a Sam Leavitt, like a Jamarcus Russell?
Yeah, like
I think Sam Leavitt is the type of dude that on the bye week we may see a picture of him on a yacht and
with
it's
his shirt off,
and we're gonna be like, oh fuck.
I think we've had that.
I don't doubt
I think it's already happened.
That was Odell.
Yeah,
but and I agree. Obviously, Leavitt's health will be a huge factor in all this. The thing I'm more interested in, honestly, is for the first time I can think of in a while, we don't really know who the dudes are at wide receiver. We got a lot of them. There's a ton of names. I don't remember.
A lot of Browns, a lot of Jaces, a lot of
Treys. But
you know what? You're spoiled.
I don't think anyone heard that. Did we hear that?
It was okay. Hit it one more time.
You know what? You're spoiled. You're spoiled.
Thank you.
Sure.
I just think that's something I don't know. That's what I'm looking for is which group of these wide receivers really end up taking that big jump. Because you could tell me 9 names and I'd be like, okay.
I'll tell you.
I have no idea.
I'll tell you a handful.
Bring them on.
And honestly, you watch this kind of shit long enough, you start reading between the lines. The guys that traveled with Sam Leavitt to Dallas,
I agree.
Malik Elzy wasn't just like snuck on that plane. Like he obviously is one of the guys that is going to be playing. Jackson Harris, you didn't see Trey Brown, but you saw Jace Brown.
Yeah.
You've got Eugene Wilson / Trey Wilson as a nickname coming in from Florida. If I had to project who your first handful of guys are, I think Jace Brown doesn't leave the field.
Yeah.
The Kansas State kid.
Yep.
I think Jackson
he was
Harris,
the highest rated one.
I think so.
In the portal that we
out
of the receivers
wise, yeah.
And the Hawaii kid, I guess, on paper was the next one.
Jackson Harris is your other guy that's going to be a dude. I think after that, you got Winnie Watkins.
Yeah.
And Watkins is a dude that seems like off the field, he's doing tremendous things. He's bought in. He's, I guess you could say, one of those Lane Kiffin legacies, like Prince and Daughtery, et cetera.
Getting sued.
Yeah, you got Winnie. I think those are your first 3. And then Malik Elzy, I think the Florida kid, Trey Wilson.
I feel like that Trey Wilson guy's just got that slot receiver.
But I think that's kind of like a Jace Brown.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
It seems like we have like 7 really good slot receivers. But
Winnie,
obviously, I trust Lane to do what he does. But when I look at this and you watch film and stuff, you're just obviously the kid from K-State seems like a deep threat. I'm not trying to nitpick everything, but I look at it, it's like I feel like we just got a bunch of 6 slot receivers, which is fine.
Which is fine. But then you've got Malik Elsey's a big body, Jackson Harris is a big body, and then Trey Brown, the kid from ODU, is a decent sized body. So you've got 3 kind of solid guys. And then of course you've got depth pieces like Mothershed or whoever that's like 6'8".
Yeah.
You've got a lot of depth, but I think those that we just talked about are like your front end guys. And I think you're going to see a rotation. You're not just going to see, I said Jace Brown won't leave the field. I think he's like your first guy, but also like you said, I think Trey Wilson's going to play. I think Winnie Watkins is going to rotate in. I think all those guys are going to play. And then you've got true freshmen like Corey Barber, who is the 5-star true freshman wide receiver from Alabama. That was committed to Ole Miss that came to LSU. So I think what they're trying to do is probably build. And if they sign Easton Royal, you're going to have Easton Royal and Corey Barber next year, sophomore and freshman as some guys to go with whoever stuck around from this first period. Receiver's going to be absolutely fine.
Yeah.
No, I agree. And guess what? You got Trey Green.
Yeah. Secret weapon, man.
I mean, we have
his suit at media day.
Yeah.
We don't have a first round. I don't think there's a first round draft pick wide receiver on this year's roster as it sits. Doesn't matter because we might have 8 third or fourth round receivers,
Could be the kid from Lafayette. I forgot his name already.
It's right here. Braden Allen.
Yeah, Braden Allen.
Yes. I just feel
Jabari
like
Mack.
I just
Phillip
can't
Wright.
remember a time where skill position was so up in the air. And I get a lot of that has to do with like there's 60 new guys on the team.
Yeah.
I understand, but
do we feel better about these skilled transfer guys, like the core, than we did like the Barry and Browns
because of the system.
Yeah,
right. That's what I'm saying. We feel better about it because of the
Lane situation.
Like we trust them more about the system than we do the actual talent.
Although I think some of the talent, like if Jace Brown was in last year's class, I would say
we would have been better.
Yeah, that guy would be better than a lot of those guys.
Yeah.
I think every position group though is better. Because of the coaching and because of the structure that they're in. You look at Barry and Brown's clips with the Saints the past 2 days. They love him. They're obsessed with the kid. They're obsessed with Xavion Thomas up in Chicago. Like,
can you go back to the screen? Just I want to see if anybody's chiming in the chat here. We're currently looking at the roster and stuff. Brooks, the film guy, shout out. And look, shout out Brian Turner. I don't know that I've noticed you in the chat back in the day, and you're very active in here. It seems like you're a pot of gold brother. So shout out to you.
So offensive line's another area though.
Didn't they hang out intellect?
Yeah, that's great. What I think about is this offensive line being restructured.
That's a question mark again.
Well, Seaton is your staple at left tackle. He's going to be a dog.
Where's Eccles?
Eccles and Tyree Adams are holding down the fort at A&M.
Where's Tyree Adams starting?
Yeah, that makes me feel good about A&M.
That does make me feel good, but also it's going to suck when they're just like running. They're just mauling us into the week 3. Week 4.
I know that would suck. There's a comfort level there, knowing what we saw last season from that crew. But at the same time, Weston Davis is slated to be your starting right tackle, and it's like, man, I saw some shit from you, brother.
Oh yeah, exactly. We're not out the hole yet, brother.
So kind of the same note of the receivers. Like, does that give you more confidence in the O-line being that he's actually locked in the right, like with the coaching staff?
I don't think anything's locked in other than Seaton, and I know Braylon Moore is at center, and that's obviously locked in, but both guards and right tackle, I think you're going to have a healthy competition. Weston Davis with coaching should be that guy.
Right.
He just hasn't been able to turn it on. I think Brad Davis was a piece of shit.
Yeah, we were wrong on Brad Davis. Hand up.
But I don't know if Brad Davis really had like the motivation to do shit.
I agree.
His job was secure.
He looked immature.
I'm just ready to just throw all of that shit in the trash and just like never think about it again, if I'm being honest. Like, it's a totally new era. I think this is going to be a way more exciting type of football team we get to watch. I know we're not going to win every game, and I'm sure I'll be pissed at Lane for dumb shit he says after a loss. I get all that's coming. That's part of being a college football fan, but like the future and like the optimism could not be higher. And it's like,
here we are now,
going undefeated these days.
Entertain us.
Yeah.
That's what in my life right now, I want to be able to get to Saturday and be entertained.
The LSU brand.
And we did it. We pulled it off. We're that team that went and plucked Lane Kiffin from Ole Miss and took him to a rival. Yeah. We did it. Kudos to we don't say it enough. Not that we've potted since February.
Shout out the governor.
But shout out.
Private equity, here we come, baby.
Shout out for getting this shit done.
Yep.
Because I want to be entertained.
Yeah. For most of our lives watching college football, maybe a little in the early days, this wasn't true, but like LSU has been a blue blood brand of college football. The purple and gold means something. It travels.
Speaking of blue blood,
whoa.
Ooh, easy there, Mike.
Have you noticed Lane Kiffin's speech impediment with his D's and T's?
A little bit. I know.
He's got a little Frank Fleming like motherfucker.
Yeah. There was nothing I enjoyed more. And look, Lane Kiffin crushes all these media, TV stuff. I'm all set. I'm gonna drive home at some point.
Damn.
But there was nothing that made me happier than when he got on the desk at SEC Media Days and him and Saban just had a handoff. Like they were throwing their hand all over the yard. And it was just so funny.
Yeah.
Kiffin's isms are on a whole nother.
Oh, yeah. You can tell he went to the.
Has it always been like it's gotten worse?
No, I think he was like, Saban does this. It's like Trump.
People want to talk about, Brian Kelly changing how he talked and stuff. Like Kiffin, I feel like he's gotten like,
it's tough to listen to.
He's a little quiet. He walks away from the mic, but also
is he trolling you
at the Rotary Club? My God, did he have those people eating out of his hands?
Yeah,
like goodness.
I love how he was like, I don't really notice the fandom. Like
I'm pretty much just in the ops building all day.
It's like he's about to have a psychotic break. He's like itching his arms.
It's very much like you have the autistic dude who's like the best like financial guy at your office, but he can't speak to anyone. And then all of a sudden he gets in the boardroom and has to talk to executives. He's like, I just do numbers.
Just you know what it is? Just be Nick Saban.
It's the alcoholism that like he's now autistic without drinking.
Yeah.
I would never say that, Lane. Come on the podcast.
Yeah.
You're a good type of autistic, all right?
Do you think he's intellectually autistic?
I don't know. I think it's just I think that those guys legitimately live in a bubble. Like Lane Kiffin's never had a real job. Like granted, he's been fired from a lot of jobs, but like Lane Kiffin has only known
been fired
football.
lately.
Yeah, not lately.
He's only answered to a handful of people that were all his dad's friends.
Yes.
And here's the thing, though. At the end of the day, he did talk about this. This is the first season without Pops. And I think
he did mention that.
He did mention
the
that.
first time going into a new job without his dad.
Because when did he pass? Like a couple years ago?
Well, his dad was like defensive coordinator or something at Ole Miss his first year.
Like he's always kind of not have his dad as a crutch, but he's always had that like, this guy knows me. This guy gets me. I'm a different cat, but I have someone I can lean on to just confide in. Now it's like he mentioned it in the press conference. Like I was on the phone with Pete Carroll last night. Like Lane's the type of guy that needs a mentor because he always looked up to his father. And I think this transition without his dad probably has forced him out of like this comfort zone.
Almost like this is my first real big boy job.
Like I need to do it here. Yeah. I need to make a legacy for myself. And this is where I decided to do it. And how lucky are we that we're the fucking landing spot for that.
And again, we've talked about this a bunch when it happened, but everyone said like Lane's going to just do the same thing to you in 5 years. And, we had that whole argument and everything, but like Lane truly understands that this is one of those jobs that you don't leave. Like, sure, you could get forced out, but like you don't leave an LSU, you don't leave a Texas, you don't leave an Alabama, you don't leave a USC, you don't leave Ohio State. Name me another one.
I think we can thank Saban a lot for that because of obviously his regrets in that conversation.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like
100%.
Is
But like
Chip's ACL Chip in the chat?
I think it has to be Chip in the chat. Did he have a little knee injury? Did he get in a scuffle with Lon and got jiu-jitsu'd onto the ground?
I don't know what happened. Now that I'm looking at that chat going off, he did have an ACL issue on their podcast.
Wait, let's ask a real intense trivia question. See if he actually has the answer.
Don't make him work.
Yeah, he's got an ACL.
What was the weather like?
Now let's talk a little bit about we're talking about Lane Kiffin here. I do think that what's going to be very interesting is to watch Ole Miss this season.
Yes.
And see how much they truly keep it all together, because they are talking a lot of shit.
Oh, yeah.
After
them or the media or both?
Oh,
them.
And look, and I posted on Twitter again. If you haven't found the new Twitter, the first Twitter got hacked at @potofgold_new. Follow that. But like I said it on Twitter, I thought Golden kind of fucking crushed media days. Like, hand up, being honest. Like, I thought he did a good job at media days. I'm still not sold on them just keeping it running. Like, guys, you forget it's fucking Ole Miss.
Yeah.
It's Edo and a Hummer. We haven't even talked about Edo cutting watermelon and doing recruiting visits. Like, shout out LSU, shout out Lane Kiffin.
Go get you an Edo cameo.
My God, I'm telling you, Verge, anyone who will ever listen to this, if Lane Kiffin fucks us over, whatever you do, please just don't give him the fucking interim job, okay?
Yeah.
Like, please, please. I'm asking you, because I see it in my dreams.
Oh my God.
Lane goes to the NFL, Lane goes somewhere, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, Edo won a national championship
you just
already.
See that gif of him like,
look at the boys getting hyped up. They did great in the exactly, punching himself in the face. Like,
yeah, big cats
we
just
can't do
dunking on everybody.
I'm all for Ed getting paid $100,000 a year, even though I think we're probably still paying him a monthly salary.
Wait.
Like,
I don't think we've talked about. We definitely haven't talked about Ed.
No,
getting on the job yet.
No, he cuts our watermelon.
But like, just watching him in the fucking tunnel with the boys. Tiger's going to war.
Mm-hmm.
I was just hard as a rock when that happened.
He is our new what's his face, Sam Nader.
Yeah,
he is this generation.
That would be cool.
Sam Nader.
If he just becomes, he's 90. He's 90 years old.
Sam
He's
Nader
still
do the watermelon. He did.
What didn't Sam Nader do?
Yes.
Sam Nader is who my dad answered to when he walked on at LSU.
Yeah.
Sam Nader's the guy I blew off because I was.
You blew him off?
Yeah, dude. His family member, his niece,
I remember this.
was my neighbor, and she was like, "Hey,
I remember this.
You want to get into like football stuff? Like you're taking kinesiology. My uncle Sam, he knows some people," and I was like, "All right, whatever."
Meanwhile, I was in the room fucking with the boys.
Yeah, meanwhile, dude, Brett got that position, and like I was, but like I was like, okay, so when do I have to do it? And it was like the day we were moving into Broussard dorms, and I was like, yeah, the line, like the traffic was crazy. I just didn't make that meeting, and she's like, you blew it. Sam was really upset about that. I was like, can I go back? She's like, no. That was it.
Literally the same, not the same, but similar happened to me.
Oh, yeah,
when I was moving with you, I was going to walk on and I called Sam. I was like, hey, I moved up. And it was probably at August, like this time. And he's like, fall practice just started today. You were supposed to call me a week ago. We can't do anything for you. We're full.
Crazy.
Come stop by my office, get the summer workout or the spring workout packet, and be out here in spring. We need guys like you in the spring.
Yeah. And you never did it.
Never showed up.
Yeah, that's crazy looking back of just like if my son pulled that with Ed Orgeron, I'd be like, what do you mean there was traffic? Like you weren't there the night before waiting? That's crazy that I did that. But anyway.
Wait. Back to Ed. This is where I was going. Does he not look like old and out of shape? And like a year ago, he looked like Beach Bod. He's like limping around.
I think he's sick.
And this is a
No, didn't he look a little sick though? The arm?
He didn't look good.
Have you seen his arm? No, he's just leaning out. He's on Ozempic.
I think I was gonna say, I think he's GLP-1 and his dick off.
I mean, he sounds normal.
A mix of Red Bull, Viagra, GLP-1.
But like when he was short, he's at Tulane this week. He's at Miami this week. He's doing all these things. He looked jacked, and then
he's going all those places. That's where his sons are. He's like,
I understand. What I'm saying is, now that I saw him in yesterday's clips, he looks like he's hurt.
Yeah, GLPs. Ones.
Ones.
Dylan Jones. 13.
Is he a problem?
Starting running back.
Give me more.
Is he going to be
I
a
think
problem?
that guy's going to be a violent runner.
That's the Wisconsin guy,
That's
right?
the Wisconsin kid. I think Dylan Jones is going to be really good. I think he starts at running back. Obviously, that's not a hot take. He's been running
First
with the ones.
carry of the season.
Dylan Jones. Yeah.
How much you wagering?
I'm not. I mean, I'm just.
Let's wager.
This isn't fucking Les Miles and Ed Orgeron being like, let's start Leonard Fournette or whoever, and then we'll play guys. Or
what's his name? What was the one? God, what's the running back?
That we're not going to get
not
this.
Contraford.
We're not going to get this.
Contraford Bradford.
No, the other one. The other one.
The one that went up to Utah
with the dreads.
With the dreads. There was a few, and I'm not going to get this. And this is a waste of time. This is a waste of time.
Chris Goodwin.
Yes,
Godwin?
Godwin.
Good runs.
Good runs.
All right, so
we've done so much stupid shit.
Fucking running
let's go back to Ole Miss for a second.
Yeah.
Because I did listening to the film guy. He talked about how much better Lane Kiffin got the minute the helmet communications came into play, where he used to do this whistle, right? And it was like the famous whistle because he always adjusted at the last second. He'd whistle into his quarterbacks. Now it's just all headset.
And
right
if
to
you're
the helmet.
snapping the ball quick, you can be in the quarterback's ear until snap.
Immediately. So he's running there, changing up plays. So like Trinidad had that shit all season. So did Jackson Dart all season. Trinidad ain't having that this year.
Can I ask a dumb question? Sorry to derail the Ole Miss talk. Is Weiss not going to be in the quarterback's ear?
I think for adjustments and like, no, fuck that. We're running this.
But I mean, you can only have one. I think you have to pick. I don't think
you can switch around.
Okay. All right. So someone in the chat can change that.
Fact
I'm sorry. Keep going on Trinidad.
I am curious about that.
I like where you're going with Trinidad. That just kind of clicked. I was like, wait a second.
Here's what I think. I don't think a guy like Lane Kiffin is going to be like, you know what? I'm going mute this game. Charlie, it's all you. I think Charlie calls the plays, and I think those are the plays. But I think there is audibles that can be made, and I think Lane has the ability.
But Charlie's in the box. He's not calling them down to the quarterback. He's calling them down
They're doing
to the signals.
And then Lane
and then Lane is audible,
I don't know.
right?
Why
don't you just tell the quarterback to play? Why would you do signals?
But if only one
signaling
person
to the rest of the team, like, hey, line, this is the formation.
Or he tells Lane,
here's the play. Like they have to.
You think we can do that?
I don't know.
But of course, they're telling the quarterback in his ear, but they're not huddling, so the other players have to get the call.
True, but I think that comes from the quarterback as well because he's there.
I don't know.
My point is, Lane is involved. Okay,
right.
Lane is talking to those quarterbacks.
Right.
And I think Trinidad Chambliss was an excellent. I think he's the best quarterback returning in the SEC. Yeah, I think a lot
besides
of that.
Lenore Sellers, but yeah, come on.
I think a lot of that had to do. I think there's a lot of good quarterbacks coming back. It's going to be interesting.
Mateer's probably going to take a jump if I had to guess. I'm out on that. I think he's like modifying these Instagram pictures.
Yeah, there's a lot of good quarterbacks. CJ Carr. But I do think that Sam Levitt's going to take a step up. I think Trinidad is going to have to take over the game. Like Trinidad's going to have to
Jane Daniels.
He's going to have to be that guy that makes the audibles for them.
Not the system is not going to produce the same results.
He's just going to break tackles. Like he's going to be that.
Not just that, but he's going to have to be the one that thinks about these audibles, not Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, that's
for
fair.
them to be successful. Yeah.
I'm super interested to see. And look, nothing's going to make me happier than to point down and laugh at the Ole Miss fans being like, "We told you, you guys aren't going to be that good anymore." But in general, take all that away as a college football fan, I am honestly super interested to see how that goes with a guy like Trinidad and even Kewan Lacey, how they were so dominant in this system. It's what happens when a new guy comes in? Spam calls.
I talked about Dylan Jones. I am bullish though on Harlem Berry's progression in this offense.
It seems like a guy, yes, get him the ball in space, let him make some moves. I agree. It's very interesting because I feel like I have concern is not the right word, but I feel like I have no questions about what the defense is going to look like, obviously, because we've seen it.
Blake Baker was the biggest signing of the offseason.
So I was going to ask this earlier and then we got sidetracked. Do you think it's more likely that LSU misses the playoffs this year or is replacing two coordinators this time next year.
More likely,
yes,
we're replacing both
coordinators. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. My thoughts on this season, again, you don't have to go perfect. This is not 2006. You can lose 2 games, maybe even 3 games, but I would assume that Baker's name's going to be up for these Arkansas type jobs. I think Missouri's probably going to be open because what's his face got them to a point where they think they should be better. Yeah. I think he's done a great job at Missouri, but at this point, it's
could be Florida State.
We're plateauing out. I think Weiss is going to be a huge name coming up, and so I just kind of wanted to throw that out there. I think it's a huge benefit that we have these 2 coordinators coming into this year, knowing I think we're probably going to be replacing both of them next year.
If we make the playoffs,
they're gone.
They can't leave. The Lane Kiffin Act.
Yeah, you're right. No. The assistants can leave. The head coach.
No, his question was, what is more likely that we don't?
Well, what I'm saying is, one is gonna if we make the playoffs,
both are gone.
They're both gone.
Right. So the question is, do we make the playoffs or not?
If we don't make the playoffs, I think at least one stays.
I kind of just wanted to point out that I think we're going to have 2 of the hottest names in the coaching carousel come November, December, whenever that actually kicks off.
Year, so
yeah.
But I'm not worried about it.
But interesting enough, Weiss wasn't considered.
Kendall Briles, bring him back.
Weiss wasn't considered over Golding. Would be interesting if they gave Golding 1 year and they're like, we'll take Weiss.
That is, I never honestly sat down and thought about that. I don't know if it was just known because he was a Lane guy and Golding wasn't
because
necessarily.
The playoffs didn't happen yet. It was that playoff game where Weiss was like, I don't need Lane. I'm going to call the plays. And they're like, oh shit, he's good too.
Yeah.
No,
that's fair. I don't know. I don't know that I ever really put some thought into that of why didn't they try everything in their fucking heart to keep Golding as DC and promote Charlie Weiss?
So
they did.
I want to talk about a handful of guys that have repeatedly been talked about as absolute studs.
Yeah. Benefield off the
Ty
top.
Benefield.
No one has been talked about more and hyped up that we have not seen
a
second.
Caleb Downs? Do we have a Downs?
I hope so. We got Downs. We got a lot of them, baby.
Shane Gillis.
He dyed his hair blonde. He's got blonde dreads, which is awesome on a purple jersey.
I want you to keep going through these names, but I'm going to speak it into existence so we get to it later. I do want to talk about if we think
PJ Woodland.
I was going to say if we think it's an issue that Levitt wasn't at media days. I think that's something that should be discussed, but I want you to keep going where you're going.
He was having practice.
Of course, that's why.
PJ Woodland is a guy that people are like,
and everyone were just gushing over.
Yeah, everyone's gushing over Witt, but the fact
gushing
like nerd gushers. Nerds don't make gushers. That was brutal.
We're gushing over Witt, or he's
gushing about PJ Woodland. I think Moscona and everyone asked about who's the guy, and I think a name you're going to get to maybe here is Bordelon, but that was another name that everyone kind of talked up.
No, I'm not getting there.
PJ,
we didn't get that deep, brother.
I was going to bring him up when we briefly mentioned the O-line, but wait, on PJ, I'm so excited about him.
People are talking about him as a guy that's going to go down as one of the great cornerbacks at this school.
He was good last year.
Yeah.
Flew under the radar good. Yeah. As bad as we weren't. We were bad last year. He was holy shit. Woodland was a sophomore last year?
Don't get me on that. I don't those facts.
Whatever.
I'm not there.
I'm pretty sure he was a true sophomore. Whatever. What is he? Where's he at? PJ
11.
He's a junior. Yeah, so he was a true sophomore last year, and I thought he would 164. Jesus.
Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
I thought he was pretty good. But yeah,
I agree. But unfortunately for him, when you had a guy like Delane on the other side, he got picked on. So even when you look good, you give up 1-2 plays, one play a drive.
We had nothing happening on offense that you forget he had these picks to set us up in good position. It's we did nothing with
them. You also had 5-star Pickett that everyone talked about too. And it's Woodland held his own.
I did think it was extremely interesting of Lane saying that Pickett was promised number 5 in his recruitment. And I guess Brian Kelly just said, fuck you. What the fuck was that?
I'm not going to talk about what the old stuff did.
I did a lot of research and he was promised that. And that's what we do.
So it's out of my control. I don't even.
And that is autistic Lane on a fucking platter.
It's not even my decision.
Yes. Yeah. He's
I read the contract. Like, what else do you want me to do?
See, that's what we do at our school.
But like again, I don't think 5 should be some fucking sacred number all of a sudden.
Was
like
that because
obviously,
of Jaden Daniels?
I guess. Like, did Brian Kelly be like, well, if no one wears 5, they can't fire me because they'll remember the hot. Like, I don't know. But that was
Brian Kelly probably definitely was like, my legacy is built on Jaden winning
exactly. I'm gonna be right there next to him when they retire his number.
But no one knew this.
No,
no one was like, oh, like no one wore 5.
Yeah,
we were
like,
just
I've been sitting here typing away, like researching shit.
And like in general, like I think single-digit numbers are cool and everything. It's not like 5, like 3 is like a dude number. Maybe it's just the Chad Jones like growing up. Like maybe it's a little bit of that, but like I don't know. It never once crossed my mind that 5 wasn't used last year because Jaden had it.
No, absolutely.
I just like okay, no.
But that was 2 years removed from Jaden.
But that is such a Brian Kelly move to like not tell anybody.
Yes, it is.
Like I only told DJ. I said no, fuck off. This is Jaden Daniels.
Well, you're gonna take 3.
You're gonna take his word over mine. You'll have 3.
Yeah, crazy.
It's still a good number.
I don't know.
Great number.
Too good.
PJ is going to be great. I think obviously we know Trey'Dez Green is going to be a phenom this year. I really think he's going to take a wild step. Jordan Seaton, having a left tackle that came here and really got in much better shape than he was, but he was already highly regarded coming over.
Spends a lot of money on girls.
And then Deuce Gerald.
Purses.
I think Deuce Gerald is the other guy that's got like those names that I just mentioned are like the guys that people are like, that's a dude.
And guess what? Lamar Brown's going to find his way onto the field.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think you're not going to have defensive ends that don't take breaks. And the fact that right now he's plugged in as a 2 says a lot. And he's at defensive end. He's an edge rusher right now, a guy that's recruited as an offensive guard, a guy that could play nose tackle is starting off at edge.
He's kind of like Marcus Spears type. I mean, he was more of a tight end basketball player, but that type of defensive end. Yeah. Just big
athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, I really hope Gabe Relaford heals properly. Cause if you had Gabe Relaford, Lamar Brown on your edges, and you had Richard Anderson and Deuce Gerald's in the middle, and then maybe you pull off that 5-star number 1 player in the country, that Texas kid that keeps visiting as like your rotational piece. What are you talking about?
With Ed?
Yeah, with Ed. People sneaking outside of defensive line, but like staying on defense. A guy I could not be more excited to see is what we do with Deshaun Spears this year.
It is interesting that you're not hearing a lot about Spears.
Nothing. And that's like part of me is like, is this like our ace in the hole? Or
somebody tweeted today, like, Deshaun Spears, remember that, like, of a clip of him or yesterday, and they were like, remember that name.
I think that he is just so incredibly perfectly built to play that star position. He almost reminds me of that dude who played at Clemson that I think LSU played against. Yes, he just has that kind of fit where it's like you can play at the line, you can play in coverage, you can blitz. You're just like a little bit, quote unquote, in that Tyrann Mathieu role of just like be a fucking athlete.
Give me that Florida game. Run it back. Run it back, Deshaun. I think the safety group has a lot of competition. You got Fahim Delane, Mansour's brother. You got Jace Thomas.
Great name.
Yeah. Jace Thomas is obviously, showing out and getting some reps there. Tamarcus Cooley returns.
Yeah. Which another guy that could probably really excel in that that kind of star position.
Correct. And then Jim Coyley is backing up Spears as well.
Which he's listed as a linebacker on the roster, Jim Coyley.
Yeah,
I know he's been playing star, but that's probably because of depth at linebacker. We need him to know, some of the outside
backer
stuff.
Have you watched his YouTube videos? A day in the life.
He's a clown.
Like this could be just wishful thinking, but I honestly feel like the Blake Baker defense maybe didn't reach its potential because we were always trying to cater to Carol Perkins.
Yeah.
And it's like maybe that's wrong. And I get Perkins, never going to talk shit about Perkins. I think he got kind of fucked over it. I get all that. But we were also playing a D-end maybe linebacker at this like safety position.
But I think that was part of Brian Kelly's doing.
That's what I'm saying.
Like having his hand in the Perkins
maybe I'm
thing.
wrong, but
the fans are saying we're using them wrong.
I see using this like highly specialized safety in that role as a huge advantage to Blake Baker's defense. We got fucking killed by running quarterbacks. And I get Harold Perkins was the QB spy of all time. Like I get I'm talking in circles here, but like I just think having a guy with that type of skill set and athletic ability really works in that position.
It could be more balanced. Like, exactly to your point, we catered the defense around, okay, let's figure out where Perkins needs to go, and then we're going to put the other 10 guys in their positions.
I think that star position, though, is a position that is very unique to this generation of football. What
you need it.
200-pound linebackers.
Exactly. But you need it. But you need
safeties.
Yeah. Well, it used to be 275-pound linebackers ready to hit.
My point is, it has evolved from a choice between a thin linebacker or an oversized safety.
Yeah.
And what we were trying to do with Harold Perkins was force a defensive end into a linebacker position into a safety position.
Yeah, right. I agree.
Where
exactly.
And mentally, he couldn't handle all of that.
Well, now we have said, fuck that. The extra position is not a nickel. It's not a linebacker. It's a safety.
Yeah.
It is this specific athlete.
Yes. And that exactly right. That's why Jim Coyley is listed as a linebacker, but he's a star.
Right.
We just haven't caught up to the times of that being a recognized position out of high school.
Yeah, it used to just be DN. Now it's like left end rusher.
Is star technically, if we're getting technical here I know my aunt's probably listening is wondering, what does star mean? Mm-hmm. Is that a strong?
It's not a nickelback that's a safety.
Yes, it's a nickelback that plays more run
support.
So
what is the star? Where does that come from? Why is it called that?
I don't know all that.
It was the jack linebacker of back in the day.
Yeah.
Like Will is weak side linebacker, Usually Sam is strong side linebacker. To
Brett's point, it started with the evolution of like the defensive ends where you had these stand-up guys that were strictly pass rushers. They weren't necessarily edge setters or run defenders that were your Marcus Spears or I forget the list of defensive ends that we had. But now
Chasson.
Well, Chasson was like an evolution of that. Mingo was an evolution of that.
Mingo was trying to get to, and I couldn't get there.
Yeah, but they weren't Marcus Spears, right? But they're the same position, but they're not. That's what safety and linebacker now has evolved. Outside linebacker and free safety has evolved to this extra position of star.
I think where it comes from is like, the traditional defense used to be 4 defensive line or 4 line guys and three linebackers. And if you do that in today's football, you're just going to get cooked by the quick passes and all that stuff because your linebackers aren't good enough to cover these really fast 6-foot guys.
And tight ends are now a major part of the passing game.
Yeah. And so that safety position allows you to play run support, but athletic enough to cover a tight end or a slot receiver where you need to. And I really think that's kind of the evolution of the game. And again, I've said this for 5, 6, 7 years on this podcast now. As much of a spread guy as I was growing up, I like legitimately truly believe that at some point the way to beat everyone does spread now, and the way to beat it is to run the ball down people's fucking throats.
Look what Lane did with
like Brett Bielema type football at Arkansas. We're going to put Les Miles. We got 7 extra offensive linemen in on this play. We're going to run it down your throat, and you're too small and fast to beat us to stop that.
The thing is, it all starts with the offensive line. If that offensive line is quick and healthy and athletic enough to be able to run a tempo spread offense, but then that can also at the drop of a dime be like, put your hand in the dirt and get 2 yards.
Yeah.
Right. That is the type of offense that wins right now. That's the 49ers. That's the Rams.
Don't have a substation next to your practice facility.
Yeah. I mean, I think Lane is part of that development of that offense. And we get to witness that this season. The beginning
and Lane is not rigid in his ways. If he thinks running a power football scheme is the best way to win football games, we're going to recruit and we're going to play to that.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got notes here. Let's see. Night practice. I love the night practices.
I love the alternating. I think,
Let's see if there's any reports.
Turn the lights on.
It's just nice that and I get,
when did they start?
Lane doesn't live in a box. He is always looking for minor things that are going to add up to the end result.
Studio. Yeah.
the end result being better. And it's again, like I said earlier, that quote just stuck with me so much. It's like, we don't just do what we do. It is not like, if you come here, this is what we're going to do. Like if we don't, if I find a guy who has an absolute cannon but is not super mobile, like, we're going to cater the offense around that.
Mm-hmm.
If our offensive line is great, we're going to cater our, it's just, we're not living in this box. And I don't know that maybe not necessarily that's what we were doing with Brian Kelly and whatever, but
we've had this mindset of we are who we are.
It's
and that's super
modern way of thinking about football.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I know that sounds so easy from the outside, but like, college football coaches in general are so fucking stuck in their ways. You played for one that was obviously an innovative guy, but he was stuck in his ways.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to change because of something. He was like, this is what I do. I'm really good at it. This is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Not that that's the worst thing in the world, but like, just being adaptable.
Yep.
Especially in this day and age. And,
please change it. I can't see bobblehead Hunt.
I know Lane probably hates this NIL thing and the power shift dynamic, but he doesn't fight it. He embraces it and thinks, how can I do this best? Well, shit, I'm at a program that gives me every opportunity and every resource I can to do it. So I'm going to make the best of it.
Yep.
Not, we don't pay recruits. And I get that was a different era and everything when Brian Kelly said that, but it's like, that's not how it works, brother.
Yeah.
And to think that is you're going to end up running into a buzzsaw.
I had notes on here about college football in general, and I don't know if we're going to get there because we've talked a lot about LSU, and I want to focus on LSU, but
I think we can branch it out at this point.
We're part of this discussion.
I feel like we're just going to keep saying the same things over and over, sucking Lane off if we keep doing this for 30 more minutes.
I'm saying we're part of that discussion now.
Yeah.
Where like the playoff picture, the brands that I think there is an elite, probably 6 teams right now going into the season. And then there's like 7 through 15, which we kind of start that list of that group.
Yeah. I agree.
And so let's talk about that a little bit. I think obviously a lot of the hype going into this season is going to be based around returning production at recent playoff teams. You look at Oregon.
Yeah,
I think Oregon is a team, in my opinion.
Dylan Raiola, of course.
Listen, I think more at quarterback, more at receiver. They've got the A&M kid that sat out last year who's going to be a dog at receiver. Their defense, they return a shit ton of players on defense. I think there's some make or break years for perception of how good the coaches are this year. I think 2 of them happened. I think Dan Lanning and Marcus Freeman both have a chip on their shoulder to get over the hump. They've got a lot of hype as being like the next big, great coaches of college football. Like, who is going to be the next Kirby Smart of football? And honestly, like Lane talks about, he says those days are done.
I heard that too. I don't know.
Is there a baby crying?
There might have been a children crying. And we're back.
We're back.
He said, Dada.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's obviously not left alone.
I hope not.
No, he's fine. I think that Lane talked about how the dominant like dynasty era of football is no more because there's so much parity,
so much turnover. A guy's not sitting waiting for his spot for 3 years to then be the dude. He's going to play at a different school.
Right. So who can be that team that's constantly like in the dance, in the hunt by repeating a roster turnover every year, recruiting and innovating the different styles of the game, etc.
We're as set up as any of them.
Exactly. Is Dan Lanning, is Marcus Freeman, Caden DeBoer. Like, there's a lot of these names that are like, oh, these are like the great names, right?
You kind of almost have to throw Sark in that fishbowl.
Absolutely, you throw Sark in there. This is the year for Sark.
Yeah.
This is the year for Lanning. This is the year for Freeman. Marcus Freeman missed the playoffs last year.
Cristobal gets a couple years there. He was just there. Like, he's got a little bit of
Quite frankly, Miami, in my opinion, is the most secure position. Like, they made it to the national championship.
Especially if you look at their schedule.
Yeah. They were in the national. Were they in? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So Miami versus Indiana, right?
Yep.
Shit, we didn't even talk about Indiana.
That's insane. It's still crazy.
Still crazy.
I was on the forefront of being like, this is a fraud. They didn't play anyone. Look what happened when they played Notre Dame. This dude's kind of a dickweed.
You didn't Google him?
I did not Google him.
Yeah.
And like he proved me wrong. Like hand up, that was extremely impressive. Obviously, let's see if they can sustain it. You know, we can say whatever we want about they were playing with a bunch of 26-year-olds and stuff, but like play within the rules, and that was well within the rules. So
let's look at this list here of LSU ranked 13. This is the coaches poll. They have Ohio State at number 1. I like Oregon if I had to pick the number 1 team. Ohio State lost 3 first-round draft picks on defense, I believe. I know they reload.
Yeah.
But Oregon returns
They're obviously going to be around.
Of course.
There's no question Ohio State's going to be around. Whether they're 1, they're 7, they're whatever.
Correct.
They're around.
Correct. I just think if I had to throw down everything and say,
yes, I
think the number 1 team going into the season, if it's not Ohio State, I think it's Oregon.
I think that's fair. I think I agree with you.
I think Notre Dame is a very good team.
Again, super favorable schedules.
Very fair. And exactly, that's my point. It's not just like who do I think could beat each other? Who do I think is going to run the table and end up being like in the top 2, top 3? I think Notre Dame is going to end up being in the top 2.
Yeah.
Because this is Marcus Freeman's make or break season. CJ Carr returns. They've got a shit ton.
The Leonard dude is probably one of the top defensive guys that's going to be taken.
Are sick, right? So I really think Oregon and Notre Dame are kind of your top 2 teams. I think you can throw in Ohio State or Georgia at that point. I think Indiana and Miami are better than Texas. I don't have Texas that high.
Just like I say every year, Texas is just going to have to prove it to me. And I get that they've been better and they've been in the dance and everything, like, you know, whatever you want to say. But it's like, I just don't think I will ever believe it until I actually see it.
But here's the deal. Those are the top 7, and there's no arguing that, in my opinion.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Miami, Indiana, Notre Dame, Texas, Georgia, Oregon, Ohio State. I think
Who's Indiana's quarterback?
Indiana's quarterback is the TCU transfer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Really good quarterback. And they got like everyone to come back. Like their defensive tackles are insane. They don't have the white dude coming back though at D tackle, but they have the other guy. But he's a dog. Miami returns a shit ton, and they have Darian Mensah from Duke coming in at quarterback. They've got
if you just look at their schedule, you're like, well, they're going to be number 1 going into the playoffs.
I agree. Those 7, the schedules like dictate that they're in there.
They're in there, but also like those are the teams that are kind
honestly, that feels a little disrespectful to Miami.
Exactly. I think Miami is a top 5 team.
Like you were just in the national championship. I get Carson Beck's gone, but like you feels like they kind of have it going. And I get the
first half of the season.
And I think I said this when Grant was going to get some stuff before we started here. I'm a little worried about Alabama solely for the fact that Josh Pate didn't even have him in the 12-team playoff, which is
sleeping on the couch.
That makes me think. That worries me about Alabama. If everyone's so down on them that Pate's not even putting them in the show, that concerns me that they might just start getting hot.
I think it's very interesting because I think this coaches poll came out yesterday or the day before.
Yeah,
I think it's very interesting.
Is more accurate.
I just think it's interesting that the coaches put Ole Miss at 10.
Yeah,
where everyone else. That's the only one that I was like, that's interesting.
I think that's the highest they'll be this year.
I think you just kind of have to with the returning.
But a lot of other ones have them like at 5, 6, 7.
Yeah. No one's got them at 5.
Can I tell you a team that I think is going to end up in that
6, 7?
No one has. This is Ole Miss at 10 is maybe you'll catch a 9.
I agree.
When they beat LSU week 3, they're going to be number 3.
I don't think they're a top 10 team regardless. I'm just saying it's interesting that all the other outsiders have them in there. The coaches are like, we're going to bump them down.
And like,
who knows something?
I think A&M Oklahoma
is a team I'm hearing is like
Oklahoma,
which makes me out on them. Everyone's too high on Oklahoma. It's like, man, we watched you guys get absolutely boat raced when you had Alabama.
We don't play them, right? Yeah, we don't play Oklahoma.
No, we play Texas these next 2 years.
I'm hearing crazy things about Oklahoma this year.
I think Oklahoma's going to be good.
Everyone loves their defense and everyone's on the tier, and it's like I could see it, but you're going to have to prove it to me, Venables.
A&M
can't call it.
A&M.
Great work, dude. You're not rusty at all, Grant. Shout out to you.
Get those veins pumping with a little fucking Yellowstone 101 since 1872.
This was Turkey 101.
Catching the board. Oh, you didn't double dip mine?
I want to save it.
You got it.
Can I tell you a team that I think is going to end up in this range that's not in this group? I think Penn State's schedule just has fucking playoff
you
written all over it.
Who'd you watch? Because I watched that.
It's just true. Like I was like, come on, Brandon Walker. And then I looked it up and I was like, oh my God.
Look at Penn State's schedule.
There is no doubt. I'm also fully in agree. I agree with him 1,000% that I think James Franklin is just like couldn't be a better fit at Virginia Tech.
USC and Michigan.
He gets them to where he's done his entire career and he's like the Beamer part 2, like a god there.
So they'll be 10-2 minimum.
Perfect at Virginia Tech.
It like couldn't be a better spot. There's probably been no bigger hater of James Franklin in the world than me, but like that is just could not be a better landing spot.
Go back up. So okay, let's talk about 8 and 9. So A&M and Oklahoma. A&M, I think, is a very good team. I really Marcel Reed, I think he made us look absolutely
Elko's done
silly.
a legit job. There's no argument.
He's honest with himself.
Yeah, no, nothing in the trophy case. That's how he keeps them motivated.
They are recruiting their ass off for high school kids.
Yeah.
They're not messing with the portal.
Right.
They're going high school. That's their strategy.
I do think is a flawed strategy.
That's their strategy. Yeah, they're not going to keep them. But
exactly.
Yeah.
And you're just putting the investment in to like train these dudes and get them ready to go play somewhere else the majority of the time.
I think we beat them at home. We're not letting them beat us twice at home. After embarrassing us and getting our coach fired. Thank you for doing it.
Print the cups.
Yeah, but it's time to restore
Print
order.
The cups, baby.
I do think Oklahoma is worthy of a top 10 rating. I think that defense is legit. They return, I think his name is Stone at D tackle. He's a dog. Mateer had a rough season because he got injured. I think he's a good quarterback.
Yeah, Texas Tech is a team that their schedule, I assume, is probably going to be
without
pretty favorable.
What are you doing?
Yeah, that's true. That
you know what I'm saying?
Who is their quarterback?
I think it was the backup dude from last year.
Mm-hmm.
So
who ended up having to play at the end of the year.
But their roster,
no, they're good. They're good.
The quarterback obviously is a huge piece of that. But
go to their schedule.
Yeah, let's look at their schedule. But I'm pretty sure they spent a boatload of money on that roster like we did.
So they've got Abilene Christian, Oregon State,
Houston at home.
Years when he's like on the outs at Florida and being like, we should have known. And like, it all sounds great when you're like, I removed the grass from the workout room because I wanted more weights. Like all that shit sounds good in media day. And I know I just sucked off Lane Kiffin for 45 minutes about how, him talking in media days and everything else. But like, I don't know. There's just something that like kind of rings a bell. Maybe it was the pedicure thing. Just something. There's just a tiny alarm bell going off. Like everyone's bought in on this. I'm gonna take the opposite side. That's all I want to say.
You're talking about for Summerall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Summerall, Florida in general.
But they're not even.
I agree.
They're not even.
But there's a lot of people hyping that up.
I think he will be better than Tugboat Billy.
But
that's fair.
What's crazy is like.
JMU is going to be in the playoffs with Billy Napier this year.
Maybe I'm just on my iron throne because I've been watching House of Dragon and we got Lane Kiffin.
You been watching Silo?
No.
Oh, it's been really good.
House of Dragon.
All right. I'm out. I haven't watched that. I
got caught up and I was like, holy shit. The ending of last season, I thought like I stopped midway through last season. I was like, I'm too bored. And then I rewatched and finished it. I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, I need to get into it. We started to watch it and my wife was pregnant with our second kid. And the series opens up with like a baby getting like cut out of a body. And we were like, I think we need to pass on this. And I just never went back.
Yeah.
So I have nothing nothing against it. We watched it. We were all into it. I was like, I feel like this is probably not the best time to be watching.
I was nursing the baby. I was milking him.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's a formula kid.
I thought he was on your team.
Oh my god!
But like I was watching the recap and I was like, oh fuck, I forgot this part.
Yeah,
this hits a little different.
Sorry, I derailed you as usual.
No, but what I was saying about the throne that we're sitting on, Florida, they just. They just can't get back to the days, bro. Like Billy Napier.
I still remember shitting my pants when Will Muschamp signed up to be the Florida head coach.
Will Muschamp, the naked shark guy.
Oh,
McElwain,
Jim McElwain,
naked shark.
Dan Mullen.
Yeah, but like
Dan Mullen. Did you read his comments? He's like, oh, we would have been in the playoffs 3 out of 4 years when I was coaching there. If it was the same.
He's not wrong.
Like I would still have my job.
My brain is being fried right now. Who's the guy we're talking about?
John Summerall.
Summerall is right up their alley.
Yep.
Like he
fits into that
Florida like lineage of bullshit guys.
Yeah.
That are just going to be like, maybe that's the ticket. And then it's like, nah, he's the Tulane guy.
And you could say, like, obviously Dan Mullen came from Mississippi State, but it is kind of weird that Florida is always a spot that's hiring that, Urban Meyer was at Utah. Like, they're always hiring. LSU goes out and tries to find the best coach at the best school. And, it's like big fish. We're big game hunting.
Whale. Odyssey.
Exactly.
Trans.
Exactly. Page.
Last miles.
I don't know. It's just it's always interesting to me that Florida is not in that group.
It's crazy.
And maybe it's just because we grew up in the Chris Leak Tebow era of perfect timing. But like also you could say going back to fuckface
and they've gone after Lane multiple times.
I agree.
And weren't able to close the deal.
Like from me, just from me looking out. Like Florida is one of those jobs. You have more in-state like battles and stuff, but like God, do you have a hotbed right there with Florida and Georgia that you can recruit from? Like that's just a bigger job, in my opinion, than what they end up hiring. Going to take the Lafayette dude, Billy Napier, going to Tulane. Not saying that those things can't work out, but it's like we don't even consider doing shit like that when we're in a coaching search. It's not even on the radar.
Us as fans do, but then we go and above and beyond.
We go with
like we're like, maybe we'll get stuck with.
It happens. Yeah,
and he's the one that wins. And he's the one that gets.
Tom Herman's getting paid $12.50 an hour to be an analyst at Texas right now.
He's like swinging Grubhub on the side.
It's insane.
It's crazy how things change.
I don't know. It's just my perception of Florida feels like it's just so much different than like how everyone else views them. It's just weird to me.
I do want to say this because honestly, the mis-signing of this cat kind of catapulted us to where we are today. But Bryce Underwood. I was about to say Bryce Young. Bryce Underwood at Michigan. Do we see him turn a corner? And is Michigan a team that can sneak around and be like, oh shit, they're playing good defense, and Bryce Underwood turned a corner and is a sophomore stud? Because no one is talking about that. There is nothing being talked about of this phenom, Bryce Underwood.
My opinion on that is I think it's more likely that he ends up in the transfer portal in 6 months than what you just said.
6 months?
Well, however long, 4 months, whenever the portal is going to open up.
They have a tough schedule.
I thought you meant like mid-season he's going to quit.
No, like I think it's more likely he's playing on a different team next year than the scenario you said is what happened.
Okay.
They have a hard schedule. Oklahoma, Iowa, Penn State, Indiana, at Oregon, at Ohio State. Like Michigan has the hardest Big Ten schedule.
Maybe this is just me in my old hat and like been watching Michigan my entire life, but it's like a dynamic athlete like that at quarterback doesn't fit at Michigan.
Yeah.
In my dumb football fandom brain, it's like that's not going to work. And like kind of right the first year, not freshman. I get it. I at this point I harbor no ill will towards that dude because he got us to Lane Kiffin here. I think if he was sitting on our sidelines or maybe got to play with Nussmeier being hurt, we're probably rolling into Brian Kelly year 5 here.
No, that's a kid.
So this is not me being a hater and wishing on his downfall. I just don't. When I just look at that at Michigan, I'm like, that's not how Michigan does it. They hand it off, they pound the rock, they don't need a dynamic guy. They just do what they do.
He's the type of kid that's going to be like Sark's last ditch effort, or like
so true,
or like Cristobal's like, hey, we did Mensa, we head back, like I'm going Underwood at Miami. Like that's that. Yeah, I get
Texas A&M throws a bag at them,
right.
USC,
and says, hey, we're going to let you run around and throw it all over the field 1,000 times a game. Come here.
Yeah, like Pete Golding somehow raises every single dime in Mississippi history.
It's not a totally out of the fucking blue thing that he ends up at LSU under Lane Kiffin. If we're being 1,000% honest,
Pop Houston, son,
that is not off the table if the scenario I say plays out.
Okay, so I think Penn State, though, like you mentioned, is that team. Penn State,
fraud. They're going to be a fraudulent 11-1.
They're Iowa State. He took his whole roster. What's his name? Matt Campbell. So Campbell went to Penn State and took his whole roster. I think that team's going to be decent. They have an easy schedule. The Big Ten is a solid ass conference.
Yeah.
No way to dispute that. I'm not saying they're better than the SEC, but by God, they're entertaining to watch now that Indiana, Oregon, compete with
I don't
Ohio
think
State.
I said this on Twitter, and again, follow at POG_new, I think is the handle.
That's
I
tough,
kind of
dude.
like typed it into the void here, but
Give me a new pog to look at.
I don't. Twitter's full of them, brother. Twitter's full of them.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know that I'll ever fully understand that USC is in the Big Ten. Like every time I see it, I'm like, oh yeah. I don't know. It's just it
is
feels
crazy because
wrong.
it feels more. I feel more comfortable talking about Oregon in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I was watching some stupid. We talked a little bit about the new college football game, and I haven't bought it yet because I have zero time in my life at the moment. But
Bad purchase. I regret it.
I was watching, the random like Bordeaux kid play, so I could get my college football fix on YouTube before I went to bed. And he did something, and he joined the Pac-12 conference in his dynasty. And then all of a sudden, I saw the teams, and I was like, "What the fuck? That's not the Pac-12."
Yeah,
and it's just I don't know. I get that that's maybe just me being an old man at this point, but it's like that Big Ten, USC, Oregon just still doesn't feel right.
The reason I bring all this talk of college football up, obviously, it's our favorite sport, and it's going to be so much fun to watch.
Now that the World Cup's over,
yeah, but everybody we just discussed, outside of that top 7, LSU's right there.
100%.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't think they deserve to be any higher. I think LSU should be in a prove it thing. I completely get. I think LSU's going to be a lot higher in that mix than they are in this preseason.
I have a question.
Shoot,
Tennessee.
I don't know. Tennessee's a little bit of a blind
There's
spot.
a lot of people saying that that's chalk it up.
We just heard it too many times at this
chalk it
point,
up
man.
at Tennessee. It's a loss.
it's a loss.
As a loss.
Yeah,
I'm like, are they?
I think it's a worse spot than
It's a bad
team
spot.
versus team.
You Alabama, Texas, travel to Tennessee. That's tough.
That's even if you win both those games. What an incredibly hard job to go from beating Bama and Texas to then going on the road to Tennessee.
If Big Orange Mac, if you're listening, I need to hit you up on Twitter.
He's not.
I need tickets.
Dedicated 10 years later.
Sorry, Zombie Bob will send him the link. He's
I need
listening.
tickets.
I know he is.
I need tickets. Actually, I'm going to talk to Dan.
So you're going for a bachelor party for your brother-in-law.
Future. Yeah.
Your
future.
Yeah. FBL.
Yeah.
Are you staying with the kids?
Yes. I'll be grandpa. Me and my other brother-in-law.
Nice.
I don't know. There's no telling with him if he can actually make it.
The bachelor?
No.
The other brother-in-law.
But I'm trying to, my goal is to just find 2 tickets.
Are y'all taking a van?
They rented a van from the cabin to the state. They're
not driving from Louisiana out there in a van all together, recording a podcast in the back?
I relayed that.
I'd be
told
so
them,
down to run that back.
I even put in I got added to the
Bring the kids.
To the kids. I got added to the
It'd be a
kids
30-hour drive at that point.
To the kids group chat.
Yeah, so that's awesome. I'm jealous. That's going to be a wonderful trip. Anytime you're in the Smokies in the fall, University of Tennessee, if you have the opportunity to go to that game, go to that game.
Yeah, I know.
It's a great trip.
The StubHub tickets are $500 to get in the
Pay
door.
it.
And I'm like, geez,
Pay it.
No, I'm going to go.
That's 2 months of DoorDash.
I'm going to working for them. I do it on the side now with all my kids.
Man, we're here.
I literally was just about to say, man, is it so nice that this is a tangible thing at this point. Practice has started. Just anecdotally here in Covington, Madisonville, Louisiana, the humidity's down. It's starting to feel nice this week. There's a little breeze in the air.
This is my second year back into the heat, and I've acclimated.
Brutal.
It is brutal, but I'm starting to really.
There's something in the air.
I'm starting to embrace it.
These last few days, humidity has dropped significantly, and you walk outside, and it just smells a little different outside.
I was in New York for a week last week, and it got up to 78 with 70% humidity, and they were like, "Fuck this
is a nightmare."
I was like, "Boys, it's football season. It's hot, it's sweaty." But
today was the first day of school. That's when it's football season.
Yep.
Tonight we have a preseason NFL game. It's the only NFL. Obviously, I do fantasy, and it's fun to keep up with that kind of stuff. But the only time I watch NFL football is literally like preseason, the first few weeks, and the playoffs, because it's the beginning of football. It's the first times you hear that clap, clap.
Yep.
And you
Tigers go to war.
Yeah, man. I'm excited about it. It's good to have a hobby. And this is our hobby. I didn't think we'd be doing this for 10 years. This is crazy, man. But we're excited to be here. We're going to do this as much as we can. We're not committed. Let's just 411 to all of our listeners out there. I know there's some people that are listening to us for the first time.
Shout out to you guys.
There's some people that are listening to us for the second season. We've been doing this.
There was a comment. Can you tell us how much you like Lane before you go?
Yeah. We've been doing this for a long time, and we used to do it 3 pods a week, 2 pods a week, once a week. We're going to do it as much as we can. We've got little kids at home. We all have careers outside of this.
Honestly,
we don't get paid to do this.
We don't give a fuck what you guys want.
Easy.
Man,
That's
easy.
an intern.
We're here because they asked for it.
Legitimately.
I
Penn State.
No,
I don't give a shit.
No, don't turn people off. What I'm trying to say is, like, we hear you. We want to be here every day if we could.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So as much as we can record during this season, we're going to do it.
Look, our goal would be once a week.
Yeah.
If we can hit once a week, that's awesome.
Yeah.
If we can't, it's not because we hate you.
Yeah.
It's not because we gave up. It's because we all have careers. We're not getting paid for this.
We all live too far apart from each other.
Yeah, all of us. I mean, there may be some times that we do a remote pod and stuff like that, and I prefer to do it in person and all that. But
sometimes we can't.
I'm just excited for the year. I think it's going to be a fun college football year. Obviously, there's just incredible amount of hype with LSU and Lane Kiffin and stuff, but it's just nice to be here. It's just nice to be here.
I mean, I'm going to be in Florida for the opener.
Can I tell you something brutal?
You're going?
No, I have a wedding on the Ole Miss game.
What the
God, are you shit?
That game?
Absolutely brutal. Sister-in-law's wedding.
Okay. And
in New Orleans, I was like,
in New Orleans,
I'm just going to be headphoned in. Like, it's going to be brutal. The biggest game of the century of the week. And we're going to make it happen. We're not missing a snap here, but it's just, I would much rather be in the dark in my house. I bought my kids a projector. They don't use it. And it's like the sickest thing ever. I can't wait for the quad box on the projector in the office. It's just going to be perfect.
Which one did you get?
There was like a TCL one on the Amazon Prime Day. That was like a $250 something projector. It was like $160. And I was like,
so cool.
I'm legitimately like floored by how good of a picture it is. I was like,
1080, right?
Probably. Yeah, it's like $150, like projectors. Wow. Like, it's probably going to be shitty. After I got it, set it up, and did all the stuff, I was like, I should have bought another one. Like, the next time it goes on sale, I will buy another. I don't know that I'm going to buy a TV again.
I have a 55-inch in our bedroom, and lately we did away with the projector for a while, and then recently, since we
you have a 55-inch projector?
No, TV. Our TV is just like a normal bedroom TV mounted on the wall. But since we had the baby and we spend more time in the room, kids, whatever,
baby, yeah.
we put the projector back up again.
It's so legit.
It's 100-inch screen.
So you saw I bought my first Lazy Boy.
No, I sat.
Oh, I need to go see.
It was a
custom.
You don't get up for 8 hours.
Custom.
You might shit your pants before you
custom.
Get out.
Does it have a
swivel? Yes.
No AC. The ventilated.
If you open up it's got a cooler in the armrest.
I was the youngest
USB
guy.
Cables everywhere.
I was the youngest person in that store at Lazy Boy.
Youngest person to ever purchase that chair.
But I didn't know it was so customized that like they give it to you as like a template, and you have to literally like tighten shit to how you want it. And so when I first got it, my head hit the floor. Like when I leaned back so far, and I called him. I was like, "This is not."
I think I got a defect.
Yeah, I was like, I waited a month and a half for y'all to build this, and like my head hit the floor. They're like, "Oh, you've got a custom detention rods." I was like, "Oh, I didn't know about all this."
Holy crap!
Here's the thing: I've got that pointed at the television, right? It's the 75-inch TV, which takes up the whole living room.
The big boy.
I can swivel to the fireplace. I'm going to get a projector there.
Ooh,
so I can have quad box over the fireplace and then have the main TV. What?
I was going to ask Brett a projector question.
Hit me.
What's the maximum distance that you can put the projector away from the wall?
I know literally nothing about this thing. It auto keystones, it auto focuses. It's so sick, but I haven't had to think about a single thing about it.
I wish so. Mine, I think 12 feet is about where the auto keystone stops. But I would love to be able to put it back 20 feet, but then zoom in.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I haven't even had
That's
to
my only issue
with
mine.
I put it on a little table. I put it up on the ceiling in my kid's room, and we just hang out and
you
watch stuff. Yeah, I know. I've just been
there's a lot
so
of tricks.
busy. But I like plan on literally like putting them out in their room and putting one in my office so that when everyone goes to bed and it's a 7:30 kickoff on ABC, Brent Musburger. I wish Brent Musburger was still around.
God, I can't wait.
If it was the A crew and everything, I'm just gonna dark out that office and just watch, and I'm gonna spin around every commercial break, shit posting on Tiger Droppings and on Twitter. Oh, I'm so excited for it to happen.
How about Ryan Fox?
How about Ryan Fox? Been an interesting year for the golf. We went. It was like heavy hitters only in the majors for a while, and then we go like Spawn and two glove Aaron Rye. Yeah, it's been fun. Well, I feel like we just packed a shit ton of stuff into an hour.
Good
30.
Show. We
didn't even talk about anything.
Yeah.
No, it's
a show about nothing.
We recorded for an hour and a half. I think that's a solid ass episode to be back. It's Lane Kiffin season, boys. Welcome back.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Over and out.
Love you guys.
That was abrupt, but
yeah, that's how we do it.
Whew.
Cross the street from your storefront cemetery. Hear me hailing from inside.